Richard, we learned that we could go from warm to cold storage. And as we go colder, which seems a little too cold for me, but the price goes down. How to provision various types of Kubernetes storage and to optimize your costs. Implementing lifecycle policies for Amazon S3 buckets, and it's important to let intelligent tiering do its job. The value of using Compute Optimizer for your EBS volumes, and that it gives you a 14-day view. Plus, not to mention that the multi-region, multi-account view that N2WS gives you. Richard, what do you think of our sessions today?
Well, I think they've been great. I mean, the operative word is definitely optimization, and like I said, this kind of flows from a lot of the conversations at reInvent last year, and just generally from what I'm seeing in the market about cost optimization, FinOps, and so on. So I think it flows nicely with that, and we've responded to that, and AWS has, I think, listened and also responded, to their customers as well. So as you said, yes. Storage optimization, data lifecycle optimization, DR optimization, and even some Kubernetes or Kubernetics, as Giddy likes to call it, incentives as well. So absolutely fantastic. I think my three takeaways is that optimization is kind of very much a thing. It's certainly happening. We've kind of seen today sort of how much AWS is really putting into that space to tackle the customer challenges. Yes, I know. I mean, the profits for sort of public cloud market have been obscene. So there's obviously a great deal of sort of controversy around that in terms of how much customers can actually optimize and save costs and sort of in terms of how they run their workloads in public cloud. And like I said, we're seeing responses to that. The second point is that there's definitely features and tools that can help us with optimization. So not just kind of in terms of specific areas like Kubernetes and things like that. I posted something on KubeCost, which is another sort of entity that's doing Kubernetes kind of cost savings, but also kind of as a sort of an overall strategy as well. It's kind of part of a FinOps sort of approach as well. I mean, I personally believe that vendors can do more. So not just kind of in the tooling space, as you said, because that kind of can become complicated sometimes. But also, like I said, in the kind of the overall sort of strategy. And I'd also like to see a combination of intelligence and automation being put into the tools, not just kind of a manual and scripted way of doing things, but bringing in AI and having automation to deal with some of that, and not kind of just saying, well, here's all the tools, and then kind of you as a customer have to go and figure out how to learn them and implement them and use them best for you and things like that. I'd like to see a little bit more of that sort of AI kind of thrown in. Maybe it's a question for ChatGPT. Who knows? And then the last point is I've heard a lot about. We didn't touch on it today, but kind of slightly connected is things like cloud repatriation, and also the kind of just cloud in general becoming too costly. And as we said, there's a lot of economic and sort of global pressures which are kind of causing those types of questions to come out in the press. So my thing is to say, do not give up on cloud and optimization. There's kind of a lot of talk around sort of, as we said, some of these areas and lots of things that we could do. But I'd say stick with it and try to kind of make it work. But really, you won't be able to kind of optimize your sort of cloud environment unless it's part of an overall cloud strategy. That's really the most important thing for me. So yeah, those would be kind of the three takeaways for me.
So this has been Optimize Your AWS FEST 2023 Storage Edition. In May, we have Compute Edition, and then followed up later in half the year, we're going to do Database Edition. Don't forget to follow AWS FEST on LinkedIn. Don't forget to do a hashtag, tag us all, have some fun. Thank you for joining us. To everybody that included in all the chat and for this entire session. And until next time.